Alright, so we got a new bike here. This is a 1988 Honda Super Magna. They only made these for 2 years. I think it looks pretty fly. You got these exhausts that sort of pop up like that. Same on this side. This rear rim here, that's all full like that. I mean, it's really neat scalloping. It's a little bit dirty. It is reported to be sitting for the past 4.5 years. So now what we're going to do is try and make it run good, maybe polish it up a little bit, and sell it. So this is the process I'm going to take to do that. First thing, try the key. Nothing turns on, but the fact that it's been sitting 4.5 years doesn't surprise me. The battery's probably dead to the dead. Alright, so we took out the old junky battery and got in a good one. Let's see what happens. Ooh, we have lights. Headlight. Yes. Blinkers. Yes. Starter. Alright. So that was a big step. I know that I've confirmed a lot of the electronics. I've confirmed the starter solenoid, the starter motor, confirmed the battery, confirmed all this junk up here and everything. Now I'm going to spray a little bit of ether in it and see if I can't get it to fire. Alright, cool. Starts on ether. So that means we know a lot of things are good. The coils are good, good spark plugs. It's getting a good spark. Has somewhat decent compression. I know it was just a very short run, but no great big puffs of smoke came out or nothing like that, and so that's a good sign. So yeah, we're headed very close to the end of this project, actually. Most of the common problems of an old bike aren't even here. We're probably going to have to do these carbs because as I was taking off the tank, I took a look at this petcock, which is full of varnish, and so I can only assume that the carbs are too. So what I'm going to do is drain this tank and clean out the petcock, flush out the tank, and then I'm going to do the carbs. Ew, look at that piss water. Working my way down towards those carbs. Air filter looks so-so. For my bike, I'd probably replace it. I take off everything and place it chronologically so I know what order it goes back in. After unnecessarily spilling some coolant on the ground, got my airbox out. I'm just staring down at straight carbs. Definitely seen worse. Not too bad. Well, it definitely took some heavy metal persuasion, but I got these carbs off. Gonna have to be sure to clean them right the first time so I don't have to ever do this again. Chugging right along though. Remember, when working with carb spray, safety first. Nasty, nasty. These poor jets are completely clogged up. Spick and span and ready for service. Give the linkage a good lubing. Let's throw them back on the bike. Alright, everything's all buttoned up. Let's put the tank back on, fill the carbs back up with fuel, and start this bad boy up. Alright, so after a little bit of initial popping and sputtering, This bike just fires right up. No complaints at all from it. Good power band and everything. Here, I'll demonstrate it for you guys. Beautiful. I had to bleed the clutch a little bit because it had run dry for some reason, but that's a lot firmer now. And that just bled right out of here, this little nipple right here, and it bled just exactly like the brakes. Now we're good to go. This bike is actually going to a friend of mine. He asked me to find him a bike because the last bike he had wasn't terribly reliable, and he let it sit and it all gummed up and went to hell. But yeah, he should be over here in a couple hours to reclaim his bike. I think he's going to be pretty pleased with it. In the meantime, I'm going to clean it up a little bit for him. I'm not going to go too far into it because I'm not sure if he's got some customization in mind. So I'm not going to go crazy, but you know, I'm going to see what I can do to make it a little bit prettier for him. This is a good way to get minor pitting out of chrome. Got a balled up piece of tin foil here. Looks better. Can you guys see that difference there on this exhaust? That's after the tinfoil, and that's before. It's really good for buffing. Look at this. I didn't know if I was going to get this kickstand looking good, but look, what started out like this, now looking like that. Cool. Alright, so we're good to go. I buffed up the exhaust, looking a lot better. I'm not going to do anything about the seat because I think he wants to replace it all or something. I'm not sure what he's going to do about that, but that's on him. And yeah, so I'll give him a call and tell him to come on over and pick up his new bike. My personal esteem of this bike is I like it a lot of low-end torque, especially for a 700, good amount of power. I really like the sound of the motor, very smooth transmission, very smooth shifting, stuff like that. If anyone out there has ridden a VX 800, you know what I mean. If I say it's got sort of like a leading steering system, that's maybe the one flaw about it. It might be the fault of the handlebars, but when you go into a turn, if you're actually turning the handlebars, you have to really apply a lot of upper body force because the bike really wants to straighten itself out, or it wants to turn all the way over to one side or the other. You don't really get that with my bike or with a lot of other bikes like this KZ 440. You don't get that with that bike. But this bike, you really have to be very deliberate about it when you're twisting the handlebars. Leaning, you know, one side or the other at high speed, turning, not a problem. Very smooth on the road, very stable. It's really just an excellent bike and very unusual too. I mean, if this bike was in brand new perfect condition, I'd say you could put it out on Honda showroom floors and people would think it's a brand new bike. I mean, the look of that scalloping and the exhaust and the rear wheel, man, I think it's great, and a little bit jealous. So hope Jake's gonna like it. So this is Jake. He's taking the bike home. Jake, what do you think of the new bike?
It's awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's incredible.
You gonna be a good bike owner?
I'm gonna be a very good bike owner. Yeah.
Awesome. What do you have planned for this bike? What are you gonna do to it to spiff it up?
I think first just get the metal work shined up, and then see about a seat, and then definitely the bars. I think that's the
These handlebars here.
yeah. Get some maybe that are a little more swept back and a little lower.
Okay, you're gonna change them out.
Yeah,
Right
just
on.
the whole bar. I checked online, and they're actually pretty decently easy to find. Ones with slightly different geometry. And then these guys, but these will be easy. Some clip-on lights for the front.
Right on.
So there's that bar right there. Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, enjoy it.
Thank you.